Titans Texans is next up. Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. Let's see what we are dealing with here. This opened up with the Titans -3.5. They're now they have a -1 on the board here at Pinnacle, but that -1's at -124. So that's not a real -1. From a totals perspective, it opened up at 41 and is now at 40. See where the cash lies for Titans, Texans. You have 33% of the tickets on Houston, but 50% of the cash. Seems like normal. The Sharps have just been on Texans week in and week out, or the bigger bets, I should say, at this point, rather than the Sharps. 47% of tickets, 95% of cash is on the under. Titans coming off their fourth straight win, 19-10 at home over Indianapolis to sweep the 2 games, first time this year. Tannehill, 13-20 for 132 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Hurt his ankle, only missed 1 snap, and then walking boot after the game. So a really big chance that Malik Willis will start here for this Titans team that has now won 4 straight. Derrick Henry, I know a lot of you guys were on Derrick Henry props, and beautiful. 30 carries for 128 yards. Nice to have LJ in the chat for this. He says Texans money line. And Nutflush on saying Titans offense is a disgrace to watch. LJ also looking at Davis Mills pass completion prop. And Gerald Jones with a great stat for the last game saying Eagles last in NFL second half scoring. Wow. So Malik Willis likely going to be in there. Derrick Henry had the great game. Austin Hooper caught 3 for 56, and we saw the difference with Bud Dupree and Amani Hooker returning to fortify that defense. It showed. They finished with 3 sacks, 10 quarterback hits, picked off Matt Ryan twice, and Andrew Adams returned one of them 76 yards to the house. Texans coming off a 38-20 loss at Las Vegas. That was closer than the score indicates. They were up 3 in the fourth quarter. They put up a season-high 404 yards. Davis Mills, 28-41 for 302 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, and Damian Pierce again led the way offensively. 20 carries for 92 yards, caught 4 for 25. Jordan Akins caught 3 for 68. Ogunbowale caught 5 for 54. Brandon Cooks caught 4 for 46. Their defense couldn't get stops that were needed in the fourth quarter. Finished with 1 sack, 3 quarterback hits. Raiders put up a season-high 400 yards on them, and the Texans had some costly injuries. So they lose Malik Collins in the first quarter to a chest injury. He signed a 2-year, $17 million contract in the offseason. They lost Nico Collins to a groin injury in the fourth quarter, and he didn't return. He caught 3 passes for 33 yards on 3 targets, and he was averaging a team-high 18.3 yards per reception coming into the game. So they lose Nico Collins, they lose Malik Collins, and then they lose rookie offensive guard Kenyon Green, shoulder pectoral injury. So he's has a strained pectoral, and he's out. So those are some losses, and we saw them kind of shrivel in the fourth quarter. Do you expect Malik Willis to be a quarterback for the Titans, and how are you betting this?
Yeah, that's probably the only thing keeping me from betting the Titans. The Texans have given up almost 1,000 yards on the ground already. There's a couple teams that actually have trickled just over 1,000 yards, but they're bad against the run, and Tennessee seems to have figured out, I don't know if he just got rested enough or they were starting to use different schemes. I haven't honestly watched a ton of Titans games. I've, checked in more on box scores and caught highlights, but yeah, Tractor Cito's back if that's the game plan with, the backup quarterback in, and he can scoot too. So if Derrick Henry's playing better and you have a quarterback who's going to maybe have some designed runs in his package, I really worry about Houston even at home. So yeah, I was cheering for Houston for survivor reasons last week. I wanted them to get it done. That would have been a sneaky win. That would have taken out so many pools would have just been finished with the Patriots, Tampa Bay, and the Raiders losing. Wasn't to be, but Houston's squirrely. I think it's a really bad matchup for their defense. Vrabel's kind of a good coach. It's the chicken salad out of chicken shit thing. They've had a lot of injuries and they don't really have any wide receivers, and the Birdie's saying it too. Mike Vrabel is a good head coach. They haven't beat any good teams, as Coin's pointing out. Chat's 3 seconds ahead of me here, but it's not a good team. But the Texans are a real bottom feeder as well. This is so you're saying this is about a neutral or about a pick 'em on a neutral? I'd make Tennessee favored by a point or 2. So leaning towards Tennessee. I might be happy to grab this number now that it's trickled down, taking some Houston money. There's been pro money on Houston for weeks. They haven't always been rewarded. I would want a bigger number if I was backing Houston. I might need over a 3 to take this. So this could be a horribly ugly game that I regret betting, but I do think this running game from the Titans will just wear down the Texans. So no official play, but I'm looking pretty hard at Tennessee. The pass rush, and that was a big thing too. This pass rush, that was going to be the only thing I liked about this defense, starting to kind of come back, as you alluded to. That was nice. Some of the highlights I saw from last week, and as I was flipping through to that game, you saw the pass rush get after it a little. So maybe the Titans win this division. It's such an ugly team.
The difference here, and LJ saying Texans play much better at home, that they definitely do. But I think what the difference is, and I was coming, and this is a beauty of this show for me as a capper. I was coming in here with a plan to take the Texans, but when I think the biggest difference here is not that Malik Willis is going to take over for Tannehill, but to me is that the Titans got their defense fortified with Dupree and Hooker coming back, and the Texans lose Malik Collins and then lose a couple pieces on offense. That is enough maybe to tilt the favor towards the Titans, where I had been planning on moving on the Texans. Brady says, how do we not bet Titans first quarter and first half? Rabel has been very open, saying that's what they're trying to do. Well, this changed my whole plan. So I'm going to have to study this more. No move for me. Is there anything you want to make official here, or are you going to wait on the Titans?
I'm waiting on this. I don't think I need to be jumping to this one.